at least for our beloved Pittsburgh Steelers, at number 20, drafting Kenny Pickett. I'm shocked he was still on the board at number 20. But I want to know from you, Ike, what was your first reaction when you heard the news that the Steelers would draft Kenny Pickett with the 20th overall pick?
Oh, man, he the first quarterback off the board at number 20. But that just goes to show you how teams were thinking. I think the first 5 picks were defensive guys. Matter of fact, I know the first 5 picks of the draft were defensive guys. But Pittsburgh got their own homegrown kid. So say, all you got to do, you went from one door to the other door, which is odd, which is unique, it's crazy because we share the same building, right? We split it right down the middle. It's the University of Pittsburgh, then it's the Pittsburgh Steelers. Okay? So for you to actually get drafted in the same building for a historical team, 7 just left Big Ben, 7 just left. And now you next in line because Coach T already put it out there. Like, oh, yeah, he's fighting for opportunity to start first day. That's what he's coming in and doing. By the way, we done added some weapons to help him out. Man, how cool is that? That's like me getting drafted from the Saints. Like, I'm from the city of New Orleans. I get drafted by the Saints. Man, that's crazy. So for Kenny actually to go to that college, see guys 4.5, 5 years, go in and out the same building, and wind up getting drafted by that team. Shout out to Kenny Pickett, man. And I'm more surprised than you that he dropped to 20. But I guess he was number 1 on their board when it came down to that position. And that was a need for him, you know? So, Kenny Pickett, man, congratulations, Kenny. We made it.
Yeah, when I saw the news on Thursday night, I was like the little kid on Christmas who gets the toy that he wants from Santa Claus, because I didn't think there was any way that both Pickett and Willis would be on the board. They'll forever be linked. Before we get more into Pickett, though, can you just explain for our listeners and viewers how the facility is split up between the Steelers and the University of Pittsburgh? Because the Pittsburgh Panthers also play their football games at Heinz Field. You were in that locker room for 12 years, though, with the Steelers. Can you just explain, like, inside the locker room, how the building is divided? Because there's familiarity, but there is separation from my understanding.
Yeah, so it's just a wall going straight down the middle. So you can't see nothing. The only time we can see each other is in the training room in the hot and cold tub, and that's all glass. So the training room people, they talk to each other a lot, you know. Some of the guys come over and some of our guys go over, whether it's going to the hot or cold tub. And that's really the only time we get to see everybody. But, yeah, that building is split directly down the middle between the Pitt Panthers and the Pittsburgh Steelers. So it's just like I was there with Regis, and I was there with Larry Fitzgerald, Ryan Rutherford. So I got to see them guys all the time, and they got to see us all the time. So it was just unique, man. It was cool. We drafted the corner. His name was Hank Poteet in 4th or 5th round from the University of Pittsburgh. So all he had to do was walk right across and open a different door as well. But it's just, how cool would it be you sharing the building with a, you know, prestige football organization, and you wind up getting drafted by that organization? Like, how cool is that? So how cool are you in college and you've been talking to Coach Tomlin saying what's up to him, or because we share the same cafeteria, and he wound up being your head coach. Like, how cool is that? You know, so it's just a cool little thing, man. Honestly, I wish more colleges did it like that have football teams at their in their cities, you know. So, but Pittsburgh is unique. Pittsburgh is just different, Mark. You know what I'm saying? And I see why. The more we talk football, the more I talk to other guys who played on other teams, the more I talk to other guys who played on other teams that came to us, they just like, bro, y'all just different, bro. Like, the brotherhood is unique. It's unbelievable. Like, we see why y'all was winning the way y'all was winning, because the brotherhood is so thick. You know, it's blood. But Pittsburgh different, Mark. It's real different. I wish I would have got drafted nowadays, not only for the money, but just the city is changing in a good way.
I'm with you there, Ike. I'm with you there. At number 20, I'll say this. Like I said, the Steelers had their choice, and that was the most surprising thing to me. But I want to give the Steelers the benefit of the doubt because of the experience Pickett had starting however many games he started with Pittsburgh. So he's experienced, and you tell me this all the time with other position groups. He's accustomed to playing in the cold weather at Heinz Field as well late in the season in November and December at the collegiate level, but hopefully at the pro level in January and February if you're competing for Lombardi trophies. I kind of go to, I know this quarterback class wasn't nearly as strong as previous years, but I look across the division and I see Lamar Jackson and Joe Burrow. I look across the rest of the AFC and you've got Mahomes and Josh Allen and Herbert. And it's like, Steelers needed somebody to compete and at least be in that conversation. You bring in Pickett, you bring in George Pickens, who we'll talk about here in just a second, and it's like you have a nice young core of offensive skill position players. All are 25 and younger right now. So that to me is what really, really excites me, because if the offensive line can be right, you could be talking about an offense that, look, the last 2 years has been, I'm just going to say it's been brutal. But with the young talent that you have at the skill position players at running back, at tight end, at receiver now, I like the core that the Steelers have developed at all of those different positions, and all these guys are 25 and younger.
Yeah, I think you said something interesting, and we've talked about this on the show when it comes down to quarterbacks. Can a quarterback, how does he throw in the cold weather? And for Kenny to actually play at Heinz Field, I mean, just think about it. So you share the same building and you wind up sharing the same football field. So you go from college playing on Heinz Field, you go from having a facility, splitting it with the Pittsburgh Steelers. So now you talk about as a scout, okay, how does this guy throw in the cold weather? Well, why the heck you worrying about if a guy throws in the cold weather? Because if you look at all the teams, once it becomes December, January football, it's usually in cold weather cities, you know? So you look at Big Ben, Miami, Ohio, cold weather. You know, people don't understand how cool it gets in California. Aaron Rodgers, cold weather. The only exception, and that was Patrick Mahomes, who won a Super Bowl. But, man, he's proven year in and year out the weather doesn't affect him at all. Josh Allen, cold weather. Tom Brady, Michigan, cold weather. So when you look at these cold weather quarterbacks, it doesn't affect them. And the weather ain't going to be as good. You know, you got the wind blowing, you got the wind chill. How does this person grip the ball? Can he still get it from opposite numbers to the other hash? You know, can he throw a tight spiral when it's -2 degrees and you got a 30-degree wind chill? Like, it's a lot of things you just look at. And these guys that I mentioned been doing it for a while. So Kenny Pickett, honestly, he broke Dan Marino's records, passing records. He's been playing for a while in this cold weather. So nothing ain't gonna be new for him. The only new stage will be for him is now he's a professional. You know, Heinz Field ain't gonna be nothing different. It's just he gonna feel the Steeler Nation now. And I'm sure he's been to a lot of the games, but now he's gonna actually be one of them guys who will be on the field trying to lead the Pittsburgh Steelers into playoff contentions, hopefully a Super Bowl. But Kenny Pickett, man, not only what a great pick for the Pittsburgh Steelers, because I thought Kenny Pickett was the most right now ready quarterback out of them all. You know, just going through his progressions, throwing in the cold weather, him being there for 4 years, and you can see each year he was getting better. You know, so for me, Mark, it's a win-win on both situations. It's a win for Kenny Pickett, and it's a win for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And we talked about this on our show as well too, Mark. If I'm a draft pick, I do not want to go high because I know I'm going to a team, a bad organization. I'm going to a bad team. In a couple of years, they're going to switch my head coach. I wouldn't mind going 15 and down. Just my personal opinion. And I know Kenny thought he was going to go real high, but I know he's so glad that he went to an organization like the Pittsburgh Steelers at number 20.
I'm just jotting down the quarterbacks that were rookies last year that now have new head coaches. Trevor Lawrence, Bleav Davis Mills in Houston, Justin Fields in Chicago. If I'm missing someone else, but that's just three off the top of my head.
No, exactly.
Yeah,
But we'll talk
Salah's
about
still
that.
there. But
Yeah.
we'll get to the Jets a little bit later here in the show. Before we get to Pickens, I have one more question. I don't want to take away from the Steelers selection of Pickett, because when they were on the board at 20, Pickett's available, Willis was available. I wanted one of the two, just relative to who was on the board still at number 20. Jordan Davis was gone. Could have gone with Devontae Wyatt, but had you been the Steelers GM, if you were Kevin Colbert in that situation, based on who was available at number 20, would you still have taken Pickett? Who would you have selected with the 20th overall pick based on who was still available?
I would have took Pickett, Mark. I would have, because honestly, the guys you just named, not only they were gone, but I can get a need, and I felt like he was the best quarterback. So he's not going to get past me. So I think Kevin Colbert and staff did real well. Well, if it was me, I definitely would have picked Kenny Pickett, because now I'm getting the best of both worlds. I'm getting the need I'm getting somebody that I need, and I'm getting the best quarterback in the draft.
I'm with you there. I think we are both in agreement, too, that Willis has the greater upside, but Willis is not going to start day one, week one of the 2022 season. So you said something earlier, Ike. You said Pickett's the most pro-ready quarterback right now.
Right.
I don't think there's any doubt about that.